Anderson, and I am currently a doctoral candidate at Tulane School of Social Work through their DSW program. So my topic of focus throughout the doctoral program was professional burnout. I am a middle school social worker in New Orleans, and I see a lot of need for educating teachers on professional burnout and ways of self-care and setting professional boundaries with personal boundaries. So that became my interest throughout the entire program. And it was a pretty natural jump to join up with a colleague of mine who was focusing on professional burnout as well, specifically with social workers. So we actually wrote two manuscripts. One is reducing social worker burnout during COVID-19, and the second is reducing teacher burnout during COVID-19. And we worked together to do that research to help both professions understand that during this unique situation with COVID-19, that their likeliness of professional burnout is going to be even higher. Professional burnout looks like compassion fatigue, or feeling a sense of dread when you're going to work, or looking for reasons to feel angry, not getting joy from your job anymore, becoming overwhelmed by small tasks, because it's really easy in helping professions like teaching and social work to focus all of your energy on making everyone around you's lives easier, and you're not taking care of yourself. And so then that's when we address it as burnout. My colleague and I each had done literature reviews. Her literature review focused on social work burnout, and I did one focusing on teacher burnout. And based on the research that we found, we saw that there is a high indication that most teachers and social workers will experience burnout, but there aren't a lot of interventions in place or recommendations for how they can manage these feelings of burnout. So following our literature review, we started looking around for more interventions and suggestions of what are the best ways to treat burnout specific to these separate fields. And when we came together, that's how we developed the manuscripts, by giving a little bit of background about what burnout is and how it affects people's professional identities. And then we wanted to give them solid, realistic, practical interventions that they could implement as soon as they finished reading the articles. I'm a middle school social worker here in New Orleans. I work within the KIPP New Orleans Charter Network. I've been here for about 4 years, so I've seen a lot of teachers come and start out really strong and then maybe have some setbacks, and that they maybe don't feel as if they are successful teachers. So I really wanted to help to educate them to recognize that just because we have maybe a couple of bad days, just bad week, bad month, or a bad quarter, it doesn't mean that you're a bad teacher, that it just might mean your self-care practices need some work and strengthening. So because before we could even work on trying to provide interventions to students here in our school, we need to make sure our teachers are feeling the best that they can. So my focus really switched from figuring out how to support the students to focusing on supporting the teachers. Dr. Hansel was a big piece of helping to focus in on getting a topic together and writing a manuscript. It felt very overwhelming at the beginning of the program to even think about how we were going to get to a point where we were being published. And with Dr. Hansel's help of talking us through the process and making it feel more attainable, it made it a much smoother process. And Dr. Trailer, I believe she's an adjunct professor, but she taught quite a few of our classes throughout the program, and she was always a really great sounding board, even when she wasn't teaching us. So my DSW cohort, we have been super close since the first day of the program. We message each other regularly. We work together regularly. We all would sit in the main space before COVID and sit and have lunch together. So our cohort was really a wonderful group of 16 women that we really bounced off of each other and encouraged each other, even still now as graduation is approaching in the next 4 weeks. So it was really nice to have all of them to fall back on. And then just to see the encouragement that the teachers felt when they'd ask me here at school where I work, how I was doing with my program, and that I would say, oh, I'm focusing on teacher burnout and how we can support y'all the best that we can. And they felt really encouraged and felt heard about the fact that people are recognizing that this is a challenge for them. I hope that this project will be able to encourage social workers to pursue writing journal articles and manuscripts, and maybe helping them to recognize, because our manuscript is on the shorter side, that it doesn't have to be this daunting task. If you have a good idea, people are probably interested in hearing it, and that they recognize the importance of providing real solutions, not just focusing on, hey, this is the problem, but we don't know how to fix it, saying this is the problem and these are ways we think will help to fix it. I'm hoping that the impact of this manuscript and journal article will help for social workers and teachers alike to recognize their burnout and recognize that they're human, and hopefully advocate in these roles where it's often joked about that, you don't get paid much and the hours are hard, but it's rewarding, but helping them to recognize, no, I also do need to have boundaries and take care of myself, and that there are people who want to help support you and advocate for you, so that you don't feel like you're rebelling against this system of working people to the bone until they're burned out and changing professions. We want to make sure that the good people stay in the field, and if that means having to help advocate and provide that support, I'm happy to do it.